Good morning, ladies. I'm so excited to pray with you today, but first I want to just encourage you with just a simple little story. This is something that got me through some challenging years in a lot of ways, and a story that I love to share with friends. Now, here's the deal. Prayer is powerful, and we underestimate how powerful it is. It reverberates down through the generations, and I can think of, well, there are two individuals that are famous in certain Christian circles, the fathers of the Methodist movement, the Methodist Church, although they've strayed far from their roots. The Methodist Church is, the stories of the beginning is amazing. And Charles and John Wesley were the ones that founded the Methodist movement. But the story doesn't start there. The story starts with their mother. These two men became the men they were, I think, in a huge part because of their mother. Most people don't know her name, but her name was Susanna Wesley. She had a really hard upbringing. She was like one of 25 kids. She got married at a young age. I think at the age of 19, had like 19 kids. Only 10 of them, I believe, survived to adulthood. And it was not easy being a mother. It was also not easy being a wife. She was married to a man that didn't have, I think they lived in a lot of poverty. He was I think he was a hard man because he left her for a year over something really insignificant. He ended up in jail over some financial hardship a couple times, maybe debt and things like that. And so she knows what it was like she knew what it was like to probably be a single woman or a single mother, if you will. But this woman learned how to pray. And she prayed in such a way that even in her little maybe one room house, maybe it was a couple rooms, but she committed to prayer in a way that I don't know many women have ever committed to pray. And she did it in a way to get alone with God. She would literally just rock in her rocking chair with a house full of kids, maybe a husband, and she would just flip her apron up over her head. And that's how she would pray. And that was her secret place with the Lord. And she prayed for her kids. And those prayers are reverberating generations later. So my challenge is to you is we don't have an excuse. I have no excuse not to be a prayer warrior, not to learn how to pray, not to commit to praying. Because if this woman could do it in those kind of trying circumstances, I can commit in my circumstances. And so let's pray. Lord, I just pray for the woman today who is struggling in a difficult marriage. I pray for the woman who is struggling with a difficult family situation, maybe extended family living with them, maybe children that have walked away from you. But Lord, you remind us over and over again, and that is what even these videos are for. It's to remind us that there is power in prayer. And you said that where there are two or three agreed and gathered together, there you are in the midst of us. And so, Lord, I thank you that my prayer across the time and distance of technology is enough to unite with another person in the Spirit in prayer. And so, Lord, I just thank you for the power of prayer. And so we just come into agreement now, God, that you would strengthen these women in their marriage, strengthen these women in their families, and you would empower them, Lord, to become prayer warriors. You would empower their prayer life, that you would stir up and provoke a holy jealousy to pray like Susanna Wesley did, to pray for our children in such a way that they change the course of history. Lord, I thank you that there is such beauty and power in being a woman. I'm only now probably beginning to even discover it on the levels that you have desired for us, God. But there is power in being a mother. And your word says that, or your word doesn't say it, someone said it. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And we underestimate the royal position that you have given us as mothers to raise up kings and queens of influence, kings and queens in culture, Lord, kings and queens that can change and shake the nations. And so, Lord, I just pray that these women today would be provoked by that quote. It's not biblical, but God, it's profound. And I think it aligns with your heart and how you have made us to be queens. You have made us royalty. You've called us to be kings and priests. And so that means you've called us women to be queens. and priestesses in your house. And so, Lord, I thank you for your grace and your empowerment. And I bless these women today to be all that you have called them to be, to impact lives, to impact their children, to impact their husbands through the power of prayer. I'll see you in the next video.